Hello and welcome to the United Stand, 8:30 on a weekday night. This is the place to be. Let's fly straight into it. I've got Alex with me. Whether you can see him on the screen or not, I do not know. We always have to start off with Pogba at the moment, but we've got some interesting developments in relation to somebody from La Liga who may well be coming back to Manchester United, and obviously the Juan Mata story develops even further as well. Apparently he's already been told he's going, although he looked quite happy on a picture with Ander Herrera on Twitter today with Antonio Valencia, so we'll delve into that as well. But welcome to everybody in the live comments. Welcome if you're not watching live, do comment below, we will reply. But I'll go to Alex first because I've been on my own for the last few shows and it's always interesting to get one of the United Stand panellists' thoughts. We've not spoken about this before we've come on air. Alex, is Paul Pogba coming to Manchester United? And give us a reason why, yes or no.
I'm not sure, to be honest. Like, in the run-up to it, I thought that Juventus would be crazy to turn down that much money if the rumoured 100 million is true. But then I've been reading reports from like Italian journalists and stuff, and they're saying that Juventus really want to win the Champions League, and that if you get given that sort of money, you obviously have to replace him if you're getting rid of that good of a player. They got rid of Vidal last season to Bayern, and then like from Pogba, where do you even go? You like Cruz, maybe Modric, but Real Madrid aren't going to sell them. I guess they could use them in a swap deal or something, but would either of them even want to go to Juventus? And if they have ambitions of winning the Champions League, then are they going to actually sell them? And then I haven't taken too much notice of the agent's quotes today, because as people have been linking all over Facebook, he said something about Zlatan that oh, he's not certain, that like Manchester United is just one of many possibilities, blah, blah, blah. Whereas Zlatan said, like, as soon as in his interview with MUTV, he was like, oh yeah, as soon as it was offered to me, I accepted it straight away. So it just shows that the agent is obviously going to do the best deal for him. And I don't know, like I don't really know how agents and stuff work, but when he signs with a new club, he gets a signing on to, and I don't know if you get a new bumper contract if the agent even gets anything.
No, I'll come to that in a moment. I mean, just got a shout out to Lee Poulton. He emailed me earlier saying that he can never comment on a live comment video, and I made me think maybe give him a shout out, but also anybody else who has that problem. A lot of you clearly don't. I can see the live comments is up and racing and rowdy as per usual. But if you do have a problem with it, some phones, Android, even Apple phones have a problem, just go onto YouTube on your desktop version. If you can get on a laptop or a computer, that's a fail-safe way of getting involved. Anthony Marciel's on the live comments. He says, Mark, my wife left me for a hotter, smarter and more successful person. I've already apologised to that. You'll get half of everything. Anyway, what Alex was saying about Raiola, I think is quite interesting. My interpretation of things at the moment. I just want to say there's a lot of Manchester United fans out there who are moaning about the £100 million fee. My thought on that, Alex, and I'll give your thoughts as well, and the live comments. I'd be interested to see what people think, because I totally agree that it's a ridiculous amount of money. Probably Pogba's worth about 60 million. I don't judge him on the Euros. I don't judge anyone on the Euros. I don't rate international football. And I've seen Pogba playing for Juventus. He's a very good player. Mick, there's your shout out. But what the reason we're paying £100 million for Pogba has got nothing to do with Pogba being £100 million worth of a player. It's because we are not in the Champions League. We finished 5th playing crap football last year, and we are trying to buy one of the top 5 assets in world football. Whether he's one of the top 5 players or not, I'm not going down that route. I think he will be, but we are trying to buy one of the best assets in world football. We can't go to Juventus and say we're only going to pay you 60 million because that's what he's worth, because Real Madrid will then go, well, we'll pay him 60 million and we'll get him. To get him, we've been very audacious. We've gone way over the value, and we're offering £100 million because we're basically just blowing everybody out of the water and giving Juventus an offer that's too much to refuse. And the reality is, that's how I see it, Alex.
Yeah, you would think that, but as I touched upon with the Champions League thing, it just depends if they're motivated by money. I think Juventus aren't particularly rich, but then I've heard that AC and Inter are getting taken over by really rich owners, so maybe it is going to be like a battle of like spending and everything. And they've lost Morata, so they do need another striker as another thing. But then again, they have Dybala, who is really good. But I don't know. I really hope it does happen. And the thing is that we're linked with like the likes of Matuidi and stuff, but if we don't get Pogba and we want this like world-class marquee signing, which I think Zlatan does count anyway, as a marquee signing. It's like, where do we go from Pogba? Like I'd said before about Kroos and Modric, which I would love, but I just don't think Real Madrid would sell to us. I thought they were gonna bid for Pogba just to spite us because of De Gea last summer, about how that all ended up. But I think we can like kiss goodbye to ever signing any Real Madrid player after that. If I'm being honest, then there isn't really that many that I can think of like available top quality centre mids. They don't play for like Barca or Real or Bayern, so that's why we're paying this top premium, because there's like so few available. And obviously, as you say, Pogba isn't worth that, but it's not our money. I don't see why so many United fans complain about it. They say like, oh, we could get Kante, we could get Matuidi for like way cheaper than that. But I have a feeling that if we don't sign Pogba for that 100 million, that we're not going to spend that 100 million. I think that 100 million is just for Pogba. I don't think it's that Jose has 100 million left. Like, he obviously has to justify it for when he's buying it. So that's just my opinion.
No, I agree with that, to be fair. I've not really thought about it, but I think these people who are saying don't spend 100 million on Pogba, let's spend 30 on Kante, 30 on somebody else and 40 on another. I agree. I think this money is set aside for a marquee signing. It's not there to be spent and drabs. But I personally I agree with that. It would be the ideal two, where you'd go, you know what, actually, in a Premier League 11, those two would do a very, very good job. But Madrid aren't going to deal with us. So who else is there out there in the midfield that isn't going to be a bit of a risk? I can't really think of anybody. I like Saul Niguez, but again, getting Atletico Madrid players are difficult. But I do think we will get Pogba. If I liken it to a nice Atlantic, everything's plain sailing. I really think the deal's going to happen. Then Balaguer comes out and says it's going to happen, takes over the boat, and we've got the prospects of a Titanic and we're about to hit a iceberg. But I hope that's not going to be the case. I still think that for the last week, we've had so many people saying it's going to happen. I'm even hearing from the club themselves, not directly through other people, that they are set up for this deal. Press and everything like that, they're building up for this deal. So I think it's going to happen. And I'm not going to be veered off by that, by a very vague, and let's be honest, it is a very vague comment by his agent, Raiola, saying that he might stay. There's nothing concrete in that. It's just vague. It's Raiola playing the game. And then somebody saying about his mum, which is a 2-year-old quote. So that's a load of bollocks anyway. But I want to talk about Raiola very quickly, but let's have a look at the live comments. Charlie Ty wants a shout out. Robert Rohan's having a depression, talking about Joe Allen being a good player. Papula says Mark Pogba is one of the top 5. Jordan Corley says hi. It won't drag on. Mourinho gets shit done, says Justin Hitchings. I'm not getting my hopes up, says Carrick fan. I think they want more money, says Abdus. I mean, 100 million is more than enough. Everyone wants a shout out. Ahmed Malik wants to know if you blocked him on Twitter, Alex. Goldbridge, some fans are acting stupid, like it's 100 million from their bank account, says Chris James. Verratti would be nice, him and Pogba. Jordan Thompson, Pogba is good. Shout me out, says Ramsey. Pogba wants more money. Whoever comes doesn't come. Yeah, I mean, Mourinho's always been good in the transfer market. I still think we'll get Pogba, but I won't cry out of bed if we don't. Leah from Kenya there commenting. But yeah, what I was going to say is that even if Juventus wanted to sign a new contract, they're meant to be offering him around £150,000 a week. I mean, I wouldn't sniff at that. But Manchester United are openly offering at least another £100,000 a week. So the deal that he'll get as a player is better. Alex touched on it. A contract renewal won't make him the money that a signing on fee will. He'll get about 15 to 20 million pounds. He will not get that for him signing a new contract with Juventus. And also, Juventus are not going to get £100 million off anybody else. They won't. If they want to play hardball with Madrid, they'll get probably 60 million tops. So that's not going to happen. But somebody commented on this earlier in the videos I did earlier, and it was a really good point that Raiola is a very protective and structured agent for his players, and everything he does is sort of planning the future for his players. He's not one of those players who's just agencies just out for money. He's out for money, but it's all. And what people should take into account is that Zlatan Ibrahimovic is his client, and Zlatan wanted to come to the Premier League at the end of his career and be successful. And Zlatan is Raiola's star. You know, they're very good friends, and he's his star client and they've been together for many years. So just think about this scenario. Zlatan's coming to Manchester United. Raiola's there. Raiola's saying, right, I'll get you Mkhitaryan. I'll get you Mkhitaryan, no problem. I'll get you Pogba as well. And things like that start to make me think, well, you know, that's where we're going with it. It's got far more interest in Manchester United's success than he has in Juventus. We'll just have to see what happens. But somebody did say, and I'll throw this back to you, Alex, I don't know whether you can remember this from last summer because we did it a lot, but a lot of transfer shows. We discussed Pogba last summer and we were like, it looks like he's going to stay at Juventus for a year and then go to Barcelona. And I distinctly remember them conversations, and it was sort of round in the press. A lot of people are saying now, and I've seen United fans saying, oh, he's going to stay at Juventus for a year and then he's going to Real Madrid. I don't buy that at all. I heard the same stuff about Barcelona last year.
It seems to be like since he signed, like since the first year he signed, that Pogba every single summer there's a transfer saga around him, whether it's one team or the other, and he's always linked with so much money and everything, and he always seems to stay. I really, really hope this is different. But one thing I wanted to point out is that everyone was saying that, oh, if all these players like Zlatan, Mkhitaryan, and then if we sign Pogba are joining for the money, what footballer nowadays doesn't join for the money? And they say about mercenaries and stuff, but it's how often, like, it's different with the likes of Jesse Lingard and Marcus Rashford and stuff who actually support Man United. But the majority of players, they're not going to play for the teams they actually support. Like, our captain doesn't support Man United. He's bringing his kids up as Everton fans. It's like most footballers, and it's like the same with ordinary life. You'd go to a job if they offer you more money. So just because we're offering them money or they're mercenaries, as people like to say, doesn't mean that they're going to be bad players. City, when they got taken over, had absolutely no history. They were in like League One Championship, like fairly recently, fairly recently in like terms of years. And they've managed to sign the likes of Aguero, Silva, blah, blah, blah. We actually have the like dynasty to build upon. And so I think if we do get Pogba, he'll be a fantastic signing for us. And there is the thing that like Drawty touched upon on Twitter saying that, oh yeah, he'll just leave us in a few years' time for Real Madrid or whatever. If that gets us Premier League number 21, number 22, whatever, then I won't care, to be honest, because then we have time to build. And I trust Mourinho 100%. And I truly think, it might be deluded of me to think, but I think that if he's backed financially, then I think Mourinho could stay at United for more than 3 years, which is, I know it's not the cursed 3 years, but I think the way he's talking, he did another interview today with Adidas, like, I'm so proud that he like put the United shirt on the moment he signed for the club and how he's so proud to like represent it. And there's always been the rumours that this has been his dream job. So I think he could stay for a long time.
No, I totally agree with you about that. I think we've said it a few times. I think he would have stayed at Chelsea longer if they'd actually given him the project that he wanted. But the United job, he wanted it 3 years ago, and I think he does want to build a dynasty. Who doesn't? And there's no better club in the world to build a dynasty, because you're remembered forever if you do well at United. You're forgotten very quickly if you do it at mercenary clubs like City and Chelsea. DJ Dan Adams, loved your comment there. Unfortunately, I think it got blocked for some reason. Oh yeah, you called someone a bell end, but you're spot on. I don't know what that person was on about, digging other channels out, but good comments. Manchester United new kit, says Sandeep Gaming. Apparently end of the month. I thought it would be any time now. Yeah. Mark, stop brainwashing United fans. Pogba will never come. Hasmus.
You reckon, kind of like inside information or something, but I was just guessing. We have Wigan on Saturday. Do you reckon we'll wear it then or not without the announcement?
I don't know. I was trying to think when it was last year. I think it was towards the end of July last year, because I remember being on the US tour. We had the old kit, didn't we? Yes, because Schweinsteiger looked quite overweight, didn't he, on the US tour? And that was around the end of July. So, yeah, it probably is the start of August.
It seems weird that we, like, there's all, like, everyone, like, any United fan that's on Twitter or anything knows what our new home kit looks like. It's been leaked so many months ago. And, like, the away kit was leaked on, like, May, I think it was. So it seems weird that they're waiting so long on the announcement, but...
Yeah, I loved the US tour last year, actually. It was brilliant. But as everyone knows, we'll be covering the Chinese tour. We'll also be live on Saturday lunchtime for the Wigan game. And talking of the kits, obviously the new away kit, which is blue, which is he's not wearing it at the moment, Alex, but he has got it. And people were on about United Stand merchandise. Exciting news. Been looking at some designs today, and one of them is modelled on the blue away kit with the red United Stand. So that hopefully might be up quite soon. I should be wearing a sample anyway later in the week. So that's good. And I do like the away kit, Cole K. So, yeah, hopefully we covered that. CO Tully, can you watch the US Tour on MUTV? You can if you recorded it last year, because we're in China this year. Sorry to be sarcastic, but yeah, you give me an inch, I'll take a yard. But Mata, let's talk about Juan Mata next, Alex. Some people, I read a comment today saying if we don't get Pogba, we should use Mata as our magician from the bench. He's certainly done a few disappearing acts over the last 3 years, but where do you sit with Mata? Apparently, I can't remember where I read this. I think it was it might have been Sport Witness or something like that, or I might be mixing it up. Who is the player that's returning? We'll cover that in a minute, 1 minute videos, but we're talking Mata at the moment. And apparently he's already been told that he's surplus to requirements and he can start looking for a new club. Do you think there's anything in that?
I think the papers were always, like, whether they have information on this or not, they were always going to make that connection due to Mourinho, because he obviously came in at Chelsea and then sold him in the winter transfer window that time after barely playing him, barely giving him a start. And I think personally that his defensive work rate has improved since then, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough to come down to. Realistically, I've seen people that say, oh yeah, Jose might play Rashford and Zlatan up front, blah, 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 in a 4-4-2. He's going to play 4-2-3-1, which he's always done. And so it's going to come down to Rooney or Mata. And I think personally he will pick Rooney. But Mata thrived in that number 10 position for Chelsea. I know it wasn't under Mourinho, but when he had the pace either side of him and he got like 20-something goals, 20-something assists. And with Martial and stuff, and I know, to be fair, he has, when he's been given chances at 10 at United, he hasn't played that well. So I would use him in a makeshift like deal. He was linked with Juve, so if it was for Pogba, then I would give like Mata and a certain amount of money. But the one thing that pisses me off is that he's linked with Everton really strongly, and it's something like 25 million or something ridiculous like that. This is a club that forced us to play 27.5 million for Fellaini. I know that will like hit a spot with you, but it's like ridiculous. Why should they always pull our pants down like for players? Like when we wanted Baines as well, they were asking for something ridiculous like 30 million, and then John Stones they want like 50 million for off City and stuff. Why can they ask for all these extortionate prices for players, and then when they want to buy a player, they should get him on the cheap? Because Mata is worth in a climate where Troy Deeney's like been rumoured for like. They had a £25 million bid rejected, Watford did, for Troy Deeney, and then Igalo was rumoured to be going for 35 million. Van Gaal, I think, was offering. I read today somewhere, which is absolutely ridiculous. Then Mata is worth way more. We should at least get what we paid for him.
No, I agree. But we did this again last year, and many years. United are terrible at selling. Right back to the days we sold David Beckham, we got nowhere near what he was worth. We've always been bad at selling players. Was it last year? It was a combined total of about 15 million that we let Raphael, Van Persie, Nani, and a couple of others. That I think Hernandez as well. And there was another 5 top quality players went for about 15 million pounds. It was ridiculous. So we never get a good deal. I love Mata. He's fantastic, says Charlie Maguire. And Tarkan says Mata has played in awful teams the last 2 years. You can't blame him. We got the good money for Ronaldo. We did. Ramsey United right there. Mata plus cash for Stones, says Cham. I'd rather Mata go for 10 million to Spain than 20 million to Everton. Don't like how they work. I think that's a very good point. I can't remember who bloody said it because I wasn't reading. Sorry about that. No, it's gone. But yeah, I think he wants to go back to Spain. I don't think he'll want to go to Italy. I mean, you very rarely get swap deals anyway now. But I do think he'll go. I think it's really interesting now because a lot of players are back in training. I'm really excited about the game against Wigan because I think the likes of Memphis, Herrera, Pereira, Twansibi, there's a couple of others who are part of the. I've said Memphis already, haven't I? But I even heard that Zlatan might play on Saturday. I think it was even in the Manchester Evening News, and I thought, what? He's surely on holiday. I can't imagine Zlatan's anywhere near the Wigan squad for Saturday. So if anyone knows anything I don't know, I don't know. I think it was something to do with Gary Neville saying that he should play in the friendly against Salford in late July. But they were saying that Zlatan will play on Saturday, which I'm not expecting that, but I am looking forward to seeing. Hopefully Mkhitaryan, he didn't play in the Euros, so he should be back training, I think. But the likes of Memphis and Pereira and Herrera, I'm really excited. Luke Shaw was the other one. Really excited about the game on Saturday because I think it's a chance for some of the players who didn't have a good season last year to give a go. And, maybe Mata will get given a game. And it could well be, as Alex sort of hinted there, that it could be just lazy journalism saying that Mata's going to go just because Mourinho got rid of him previously at Chelsea. Who knows who's going to go? The most important player to go is Fellaini, but we'll just have to wait and see. Right, 1 minute videos. Well, PK is that experienced centre-back we need, the United stand. He is the player that's sort of come out of the blue today, and I'm going to tell you where it's come from. I think it was Ladbrokes. They've reduced the odds of Gerard Piqué coming back to Manchester United. Well, signing for Manchester United. It's come down from around 20-1 to 10-1. So it's still a lot of money. It's still very long odds because tenner gets you 100 quid. But he's 29 years of age. He sort of had his apprenticeship at Manchester United, never could get in because of the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand, went to Barcelona, won the lot. I can't see him coming back to the Premier League, a very demanding league, when he should be having the cigar on like he does every week at Barcelona.
Yeah, I didn't even hear that rumour until you linked me the topics for today. But as far as it goes, I think he was one player that if he wasn't playing week in, week out for Barca, that he would actually want to come to United, because he's always spoken highly. Obviously, he played for us in the past. He's always spoken highly of us. And I do think that we need that experienced centre-back. I obviously haven't seen Bailly play that much, but if Mourinho thinks he's really good, then I trust his judgment of it. And I'm kind of worried from Smalling. I know obviously he did come on quite a lot under LVG, but I still don't fully trust him without someone protecting him. And it just depends who we're going to have in midfield. Like, he was really good last season when he had the likes of Carrick and everyone protecting the back four. But that we were playing really sideways passes and everything. And De Gea made our defence look a lot better than it was, because we concede so many chances every game. But we're just lucky that we have the best keeper in the world that's like blocking every single chance. So obviously our defence is going to hopefully be a lot better than it was last year, because we're not going to be using a makeshift midfielder in defence. But I don't know, I would really like an experienced midfielder, and I wouldn't be against Piqué signing. He doesn't really seem like a Jose Mourinho defender, but I wouldn't be against it.
No, I don't think there's anything to it, to be honest. I think it's a bit of a dead end story. It'd be good. It wouldn't be bad to bring in to play with some of the younger players like Bailly, and he's got a lot of experience, but I can't see there being anything in it. And Barcelona would want good money for him at 29. I don't know what his contract situation is. Sorry, I sort of wandered off onto Twitter there just to see if there's anything while we're live on here. Dan Hill's on about Manolas. I do check that every day. He's been training with Roma today with Strootman, who we probably would have signed, and he'd have done his knee straight away if we'd kept Van Gaal. JP13492, your comment of thoughts on full-time Devils. My comment to that is no comments. However, there will be some comment in a couple of weeks. It's something new we've got plans, but it's a no comment on that. We don't go down that road anymore. But what I was laughing about is I was just looking on Twitter, and apparently Liverpool have pulled out of the race for Mario Götze. They're not willing to pay £20 million. I mean, the arrogance of Liverpool fans to think that Götze would want to go and play for them anyway. I mean, they might want to lower their expectations a bit. I think, championship level players are probably their best bet. Chris James, Mark, your criticism of Aaron Ramsey was harsh, mate. I'd love him at United. Please ask Alex's opinion. I hate Aaron Ramsey, but I'll get Alex's point.
I don't even need to guess his nationality, but I would not want Aaron Ramsey. But I'm guessing you're Welsh for asking that. But no, there are a lot better midfielders than Aaron Ramsey, who I really don't rate. But I guess, to be fair, I don't rate him, but at the same time, he is probably better than any centre mid we have. But that's not really saying much.
I think our midfield will be better than Aaron Ramsey. Oliver's there saying he's garbage. I just don't like him. He turned United down. Everybody knows that. But he's just a typical Arsenal player. Jelly baby, no spine. And that's where he is. I don't, Cool K saying Ramsey's quality there. I think Arsenal have got a number of players who can play football, but they're not my sort of footballer because they're all spineless. We saw a lot of them playing for France yesterday. Koscielny, I mean, he got bounced off the ball by that header like a bloody butterfly's fart. It was awful. And the French Peter Crouch up front with Anthony Martial on the bench, just shocking. But I wanted to say that, just reminded me. Carrick fan says he had a good Euros, to be fair. So did Wales Carrick fan. I don't know whether you noticed, but for all these signings, whether it's Zlatan, Mkhitaryan, and hopefully, obviously Bay and hopefully a couple of others, the exciting thing is that we've got players in our team that we signed last summer who are very good players who are only going to get better. And I'm talking about the likes of Anthony Martial. He will get better. Rashford's going to get better. We've already, Luke Shaw's going to be like a new signing. And I think one of Schneiderlin, Memphis or Herrera will actually show us what they're really all about this season. And I hope all three of them can do it, but we'll just have to wait and see. Rob Golf, I've been watching United Stand for a couple of weeks now. Just want to say what a great watch your videos are, Mark. Looking forward to following you through the season. Yeah, Rob, and your tenner's in the post for that. Funny, but you could play for Barcelona, Alan Ramsey. Maybe you could. There's been some crap players played for Barcelona over the years. Vermaelen is one. Mark, what's going on with Lozano? Do you still want him? Yes, I do, but I think that rumour is always going to go till after the Olympics, and apparently it's been killed off a little bit now. There's a few people joining us a bit late, Alex, because that's what happens. And we did cover Alex Devils basically asking what a few people have been asking about the Pogba situation. I don't want to go over old ground, but what I did want to mention is I've been a big fan of Rohan's asked a great question there, prediction for the Wigan lineup. We'll run every night at 8:30, so we will do that as the week develops, definitely. I'm very excited about that. Nolan wants free Manchester United Stand merchandise. No. Yeah, Di Marzio, I think I've been saying for a while that Di Marzio is obviously getting information from the club because he's been so right so often, and he's been normally a week ahead of everybody else. He has been a bit naughty, I must admit today. I don't know whether you've read it, Alex, but basically last week he was saying that a deal had been done, not between the clubs, but between the agent and the player. And I believe that. I have heard it a few places, and I think Raiola's so close to the club, Pogba's agent, that I can well imagine that United have said you can have this, that, and the other. And maybe Pogba just needs a bit of time to think about it. But I was a bit disappointed by Di Marzio today because he has been so good, and his comments sort of do suggest that he could stay at Juventus. But I suppose it's which way you read it. In fairness to Di Marzio, I think he's just saying, Pogba could stay at Juventus. It could happen.
I think a lot of these journalists like to cover all their bases. Guillem Balaguer is the main one that does that, says about 4 different stories so he can say he was right in the end, and he's an absolute twat for what he put the other day about United and the Europa League. But as far as Di Marzio goes, I always tend to believe him with stories, but I think we probably have that we would have obviously been in contact with his agent because of all the Zlatan Mkhitaryan deals, and I think that was always a point. I'm not saying we signed them because of that, but I'm sure that he came up in the negotiations a lot of times saying oh yeah, can you get us through to Pogba, blah blah blah. So he might have passed the message on to Pogba, who then agreed to the wages and stuff. So I do believe that he would be happy with what we're offering. Which why wouldn't you be happy when we're apparently offering him 300 grand a week? But as far as Juventus go, I saw today that they offered him a new contract, but then I think it was you or Joey or something said that they were only offering him 130 grand a week, which really shocked me in the first place because I don't know how little he's on at the moment, or little he's on at the moment, if 130k is considered an incentive to stay. But he would get a lot higher wages at United, Real or Barca, so I would think he would still leave if that is the new contract they're offering him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether people know enough about how things work, but in relation to wages, he probably is on a Juventus wage for Pogba at the moment. I would hazard a guess is probably around £80,000 a week because there's not masses of money in Serie A. I mean, when I was a lad, we used to watch Serie A Goal Lazio on a Sunday morning on Channel 4 and a Sunday afternoon as well. And that was the place people used to go to get their money. Des Walker, David Platt, Paul Gascoigne. I'm showing my age there. But it's gone into free fall with all the cheating and the problems in Italian politics. Juventus is a club I really admire and like, but he's probably on about 80 grand a week. They're offering him around 130, 150, which is, in fairness, it's a 50% increase. It's a lot of money for them. However, you compare that to what United are playing. I'm sure we pay Ashley Young around 100 grand a week. Which is just ridiculous. But then there is a bit of a jump then. There's not many Manchester United players who are on more than 150 grand a week, and those players that are the better players. That'll be, better players, bigger profile players. Rooney's obviously on around 300 grand a week. I think Zlatan won't be far off. I don't know what Mkhitaryan's on, but we can certainly afford that for Pogba.
I've seen rumours like Zlatan's on 250k, which isn't really that surprising when you know what Rooney's on and the fact that we didn't pay anything. But I heard something that Mkhitaryan's on 250 grand a week. I read that somewhere, which would really surprise me.
Yeah, because he's cost us a bit of money as well. I mean, Zlatan obviously has cost us nothing, so you can sort of play him that. But and Carlos F said, remember Juventus got relegated not that long ago. Yeah, they haven't got loads of money. There's not a lot of money in Italy, in Serie A. The league's in a bit of a mess. They have massive problems with crowds, etc., because of the ultras and all stuff, whatever they're called. But we will be able to blow them out of the water for the money. So and if you're Pogba, Premier League is more of a challenge than the La Liga. The only thing is, the big thing is Champions League, the climate. I understand that, but we'll just have to wait and see. Jose 205 United Stand t-shirts. Yeah, we're going to do those. Rooney's awful, says Mr. J. Any news on Willian? Yeah, I think he's on the slim fast plan, back in training for Chelsea. Mark, who would you buy if you had 300 million? It's a very good question. I'll ask that of Alex.
If we had 300 million, did you say? Who would I buy? Messi.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, he's the only one. I nearly said Ronaldo, but he's not even worth 100 million anymore, as much as I love Ronaldo. But we won't talk Ronaldo because I know Alex loves him to bits. Rooney to China, says Abdus. I'd like to think so, but I think Rooney's going to stay. I do think it's very interesting as to who's going to go. I'll sort of throw it out there. If the three, not who you want to go, the three players you think will leave Manchester United this summer, because three players will go when you think about the amount of squad we've got. The three players I would go for will be Rojo, Schneiderlin, and Valencia. They're the three players I definitely think will go. And it pains me. I don't think Schneiderlin should go, but I've just got a bad feeling he's going to go. What about you, Alex?
Schneiderlin quite surprised me that you say that, but
I just think there will be a surprise. I do. I think there will be a surprise, and whether it's, I even nearly said Herrera, and I don't want him to go. I just think there's going to be a surprise. We all want Rojo, Phil Jones, and Fellaini to go. I don't think we're going to get that lucky. I just think there will be a player like Anthony Martial says there, Schweinsteiger, Jones, Mata. I would not be surprised if you lose one of Schneiderlin.
Oh, I'd hate it. I know he hasn't really been that good, but I absolutely love having Schweinsteiger at the club, and I'd be devastated if he left. That would actually really upset me. Like, probably the most upset I'd been about someone leaving since RVP left. But and I know it. I don't really have anything to base that off, but it's just because it's Schweinsteiger and I love him.
Yeah.
Who I think would go? I'm surprised you didn't say Fellaini, but I actually think I agree with you, and I don't think Fellaini will go either. Mata obviously is the obvious one. I take it I'm not allowed to use the likes of Blackett and Varela like sub players, and I have to.
No, because I think we've got such a big squad of first team players, a massive squad, that I think there are going to be 3 first team players going. So at least.
Okay, so I'll say Mata. I would have said Carrick before, but Carrick's been given a new contract because, and I wouldn't have sold him. I'm just saying who I think. Darmian is a possibility, so I'll just put Darmian. I wouldn't sell him, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. And I'll go with Schweinsteiger, even though I wouldn't want it to happen. But I really hope. I've seen rumours that he's how do you pronounce it? Twazembe and Fosu Mensah that Jose sees as like possibilities for his first team. Yeah. And I just hope that he gives Fosu Mensah a chance, whether it's at right back or where I'd prefer him at centre mid, because I think he has the ability to be so damn good. And it was so ridiculous last season that he was so good in every single game, and then he gave away that penalty that the replay shows wasn't even a penalty, and then Van Gaal just like threw him to the side.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we're both saying, as Alex said there, he doesn't want Schweinsteiger or Darmian to go. I don't want Schneiderlin to go. I just feel that I want Fellaini to go, but I've just got a horrible feeling he'll stay. I think Phil Jones will stay. And whatever you think about Phil Jones, and I think he's crap, he's injury prone. He could be bloody Lionel Messi at centre-back for me. He's still going to get loads of injuries. Some breaking news here. James Hogan, thanks for this. Breaking news. Manchester United announced the departure of Robin van Persie. Brilliant. Rahul says Rojo, Adnan Januzaj in Valencia. Januzaj, I mean, I just can't see him having a future. Dan Deman, Schweinsteiger has to stay. I love the guy.
Just quickly on the Januzaj thing. When we were going in to play Chelsea, I think it was like 2 years ago or something, Mourinho like singled out Januzaj for praise. So he rated him back then. Obviously, he hasn't come on as people thought he would, but
I suppose if you're Mourinho, he's got so many players to pick from, because normally you go into a club and you think that player's been not used right by the previous manager. I'm going to show that previous manager up. I mean, he basically can put his hand into a lucky dip and pull out about 10 players, because if Herrera, Schneiderlin, Memphis, Januzaj, Mata, Rooney, Schweinsteiger, there's so many players that could have a good season this year who were suppressed by Van Gaal. We'll just have to wait and see. Give Jones one more chance, says Leon Mills. To me, it's not about chances. It's about simple things. I mean, I had this injury myself in my late teens, shin splints. As soon as you get those, you never get over it, and you get secondary injuries. He's always going to be injury prone. I hope I'm wrong, but I said this last year. I said it last summer, and it was right last season, and I think it will be. No for Jones, says JP. Ronaldo is coming back, says Adam Coda. No, he won't. Pogba to City, Owen Mayo. Oh, well, you never know. Colaccini signs for Liverpool. Jones has got unlimited chances. He has. I think Januzaj's had a lot of chances as well, but there we go. I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover tonight. Is there anything else you wanted to say, Alex?
Sorry, say that again?
Anything else you wanted to cover?
Oh, no, I was just going to say what Mr. Silent said to you, Mark, what do you think about Ronaldo as the next England manager? And I think he was being serious.
I'll tell you what I would say very quickly about the next England manager. I mean, the UK has gone very odd over the last few weeks for many reasons, getting knocked out of the Euros, pulling out of Europe, all sorts going on. But Sam Allardyce as England manager is not something I've ever thought I would see. And I've already put it out on a tweet. Even though he's only 18, 19, Marcus Rashford should immediately retire from international football if Big Sam becomes England manager. Jesus Christ. I mean, I know playing for your country is meant to be something that you're proud of, but God, you just got to close your ears to that man. He will destroy your football career. Big Sam Allardyce as England manager. I never thought I'd see the day, Alex.
Yeah, no, but it wouldn't really surprise me. He'd just start Andy Carroll every game and just hoof it up to the big lad.
Speechless. But anyway, I'm done with international football for a while. It's all about Manchester United. We will be back tomorrow at 8:30. And obviously, I always say this, we'll do a show every night in the week at 8:30. And there will be other videos, because who knows what tomorrow will bring. I'm sure there must be a Mourinho press conference this week as well. I'll be interested to see if Zlatan is available on Saturday. But even if he isn't, we'll be doing the watch along anyway. And I'm really excited to see Luke Shaw. He is a new signing. I want to see Memphis just given freedom to roll. I want to see Herrera and Schneiderlin doing well. I want to see Mkhitaryan, hopefully. And I want to see, like Alex said, Twansebi and Fosu Mensah getting involved. So there's loads of players to watch out for on Saturday. And as we get into these pre-season games, a lot of the players will be coming back from the Euros and getting involved as well. So we've got a really exciting season. And we've got to hit the new season with our feet running. And I think that Charity Shield game against Leicester is ideal this year, because especially with a new manager and new players, it's another bit of a more competitive game before the game against Bournemouth. And I'm really excited by it. But players are going to leave. Players are going to come in the door. We will react to that. Loads going on. Cracking comment there by CJ Rogers. I will go no comment to that one as well. But thanks for coming on, Alex.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was good chat, and over 1,000 people watching, and people seem to love these transfer shows, so it's good.
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, I've been doing a lot of them on my own, and everyone's busy, but we do try and get people on, especially now we're doing it every day. And obviously, the live comments, as I always say, I applaud you, but I read it all as well. And there's so much going on there. It's brilliant. Over 1,000 of you watching, like Alex said. Please do drop us a like. I think every one of these videos we've done, we've had over 1,000 likes within 24 hours, which is great. So please do drop us a like, because so much of it is about you on the comments. And last time I checked, I think we've got about 29,200 subscribers. It's absolutely rocketing this channel. It's always going to be the fan channel that says it how it is for you, the fans. That's what we started it for. just share it, subscribe, get your friends to subscribe, tweet out, get people to subscribe. Let's try and hit 30,000 subscribers before the Wigan game, because what a way to bring the watch along back for the new season with 30,000 subscribers when we finished last season with just 20,000 would be absolutely amazing. So please do just keep spreading it, and hopefully before the end of the week we'll have some of this merchandise out as well. But thanks everybody for watching. We're also going to do the Fantasy Premier League, which I can't wait for. That must be coming up soon. And some really exciting things coming up over the next couple of weeks, which I've been working on a bit today. Wilf, I haven't shagged the bride yet. Bit of an in-joke for anybody who doesn't know about that. But it is mission shag the bride. I have to do something, otherwise I'm going to miss the derby. But I shall speak to you all later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for Alex coming on. And hopefully we'll get him on again during the week and some of the others back. But cheers, everybody. Speak to you all soon.